and still!
Kamaru Usman went over 7 years without taking a loss. He holds the records for the most consecutive wins in UFC welterweight history with 15 straight victories. He was the UFC's pound-for-pound king, a dominant champion who seemed untouchable. However, just around the corner lay the most incredible comeback in UFC history. In the last minute of the very last round, Leon Rocky Edwards would deliver a textbook head kick, shattering the aura of Usman and separating him from his welterweight championship. After a close points defeat in the rematch with Leon, followed by a short notice loss to Khamzat Chimaev at 185 pounds, we asked the question, does Usman have what it takes to be the 2 times welterweight champion of the world? Let's rewind back to the start of Usman's UFC reign. In 2015, Usman would make his debut performance in the finale of The Ultimate Fighter. He would dominate Haider Hassan before finishing him by head and arm choke in the second round. This would be the start of a 7-year unbeaten run. Along his way to the title, he would take out big names like Sean Strickland, Damian Maia, and Rafael dos Anjos. Usman would then face Tyron Woodley at UFC 235, where he would win in a dominant fashion, completely shutting out the incumbent champion by use of his wrestling and pressure fighting. Of his 10 fights on the way to winning the welterweight gold, Usman would have only 2 finishes. This drew criticism from fans who started to see him as a decision fighter. This would all change in the first title defense against interim champion Colby Chaos Covington at UFC 245, where Usman would win a war of attrition in the final round by a TKO finish. This fight showed that Usman could go deep into the championship rounds, had great durability, and most importantly, was learning how to finish a fight. From here, Usman would go on to defend the belt 4 more times and have more frequent finishes, including a stunning finish that started from a stiff jab against his former teammate Gilbert Burns. And a brutal right hand that would put down Jorge Gamebred Masvidal in the second round. What followed would showcase Usman's mental toughness.
So now I've got to ask you, we have Kamaru Usman working here tonight. He is on the desk. What would you like to say to him?
Marty Fake Newsman, you got so lucky last time. You know what happened 2 days before? That was the biggest, worst fight of my life. That was my worst night, and that was your best night. Wait till the next time I see you. There ain't going to be no cheap shots. You're not going to be able to call fake nut shots. You're not going to call fake eye pokes and get 10 minutes of timeout and get a fake stoppage. I'm coming for you again. You know who was winning that last fight. You're on borrowed time, motherfucker. This is my time. I'm getting my belt back.
First, go wipe your mouth. You got a little something on there from,
I'm sure.
From the president.
You're so
go
soft.
Wipe your mouth.
You're so soft. You're soy boy soft.
Look at him.
You're so soft.
You got
didn't even finish with me. You're so soft. Yeah, you never. Who'd you get a call from? You get a call from freaking your little right away. That was a fake stoppage, fake ref, fake fight. Wait till I see you next time. Wait till I see you next time, Marty Fake Newsman. You're dead. You're dead. We got unfinished business.
Really?
You better show up.
Really?
I'm coming for you.
You said that last time. What happened?
Yeah, you wait till this time. You know who was winning fake stoppage. You didn't break nothing. The only thing you broke is your own will. You broke your spirit. That's why you're running from me.
Did?
That's why you hiding. You ain't nowhere.
Usman's rematch with Colby would go the full 5 rounds. A surge in Usman with a renewed confidence in his striking would drop Colby in the second round, but Colby would hang on and make it to the bell. Both fighters had their moments, but Usman would come out on top, with his striking being the cleaner and the more damaging on the night.
Headshot, bang! Oh, done!
Usman's next and final championship defense would be a rematch against Leon Rocky Edwards, who himself was on a 10-fight unbeaten run. After winning 24 minutes of a 25-minute fight, Usman would get head kicked in the last minute of the very last round, in what would become one of the greatest comebacks in UFC's history. Just 7 months later, the rubber match would take place on Leon's home turf at UFC 286 in London. The result would be another loss for Usman and Leon's first title defense by way of majority decision. After 7 years of dominance, 15 straight wins, 3 more than GSP's welterweight win streak, and falling just 1 short of Anderson Silva's all-time record, the era of the Nigerian Nightmare was over. After 18 months on the sidelines without a fight, Usman would make a stunning return when he would sign up to fight Khamzat Chimaev on just 2 weeks' notice. Not only that, but the fight would be Usman's middleweight debut at 185 pounds, 15 pounds over his usual fighting weight. Khamzat showed Usman no respect and shot from the start of the very first round. He would manage to get Usman's back and go in for his signature rear naked choke. However, Usman's high-level grappling defense and his ability to remain calm under pressure would see him weather the storm of Khamzat's first round onslaught. In the second round, the story changed. On the feet, Usman looked fresher and landed the better shots. Khamzat didn't shoot again until the last minute, where Usman held him in a chest strap to the bell. The third round saw Usman defend 2 of Khamzat's takedowns and keep the fight in boxing range for the first 2 minutes, where Usman would have success with his signature stiff jab. A double leg by Chimaev at the 2-minute mark was probably the difference in the round and the fight overall. Khamzat would win by majority decision, with 2 of 3 judges to Khamzat and 1 judge seeing it as a draw. So, can Usman become 2 times welterweight champion of the world? He took the middleweight title contender to a close decision and a fight with 2 weeks' notice. His 2 losses before that were to a prime Leon, the first a godsent head kick, the second arguably an early comeback after such a destructive knockout. This, in my opinion, was something akin to Volkanovski's comeback to Islam in their rematch. Volkanovski, of course, recently broke the over 35 curse and showed that you should never doubt legendary fighters from doing legendary things. Usman's next fight is Buckley, who's ranked 7th in the welterweight division. Usman himself ranked 5. A win here against a surging Buckley, who's on a 6-fight win streak, along with 1 more win and a top 5. We'll see Usman fight for gold a second time. Let me know your thoughts below. Will Usman fight for gold a second time? If he does, will he be successful? Will he follow in Volkanovski's footsteps and become a 2-time champion? Remember, if you enjoyed the video, please hit like and subscribe. It really helps the channel and it helps me make more. Peace.